Oh, okay. Yeah. So hello, everyone. So welcome to the second workshop on representing and manipulating deformable objects. So next slide. Yeah, so we're very excited to have you here for this workshop. So to give a brief introduction, here are the organizers. So we have myself, Daniel, we have Michael here, and we have Martina on Zoom, and we have 5 other organizers, Hans, Danica, Alessandro, David, and Giannis. So why are we interested in this workshop? So deformable objects are everywhere in the world. So they include things like, say, food, dough, clothing, ropes, and so on. But from a robotics perspective, their very large and infinite dimensional configuration space means that some traditional modeling, planning, and control approaches can fail. So there's no clear state representation. So how do you represent the state of a deformable object into your policy or your planner, for example? And then there's very complex dynamics, like if you take an action with a robot and manipulate something deformable, what is the deformable going to look like after that? So next slide. So as a consequence, there's no unified solution. So there's many methods that researchers have proposed, but many of them are highly domain specific. And there's also a general lack of a simulation environment, and the existing simulators that we have are often very noisy or inaccurate if you've ever gone through them like some of us have here. So the goal for today is to try to collect many state-of-the-art current methods that researchers are working on right now, identify possible future research direction, and to connect people from a variety of discipline in this workshop to share ideas and potentially overcome future challenges in deformable object manipulation. Next. Yeah, so there's a broad set of topics that we're excited to cover today, including things like representation, data estimation, simulation, sim-to-real transfer, data-driven methods, control, multi-arm manipulation, specialized tools, and various application that we are excited to cover. Yeah, so next. So Martina, do you want to take it from here?
Yeah. Thank you, Diane. And good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. I just want to connect to what Daniel said, and I just want to point out one of the emerging fields where the manipulation of deformable object is now needed. And in particular, among the several fields, we also have the one of the precision agriculture, where an example can be found in the European project Canopies I'm working on. And here the challenges are that we need to deal with the high variability of these deformable objects and also of the agricultural settings. But another challenge that arises in this context is also that we need to take into account the fragile nature of these objects. So we have to ensure at all times that these objects are not damaged. So this is just to close our overview of why we're interested in deformable objects and why we think it's nice to have these kind of workshops to talk about them. So now we will go a bit more into the details of how it's structured, this workshop. So as you can see, this workshop will be hybrid. So we'll have in-person speakers and in-person co-organizers, and we'll have online speakers and talks. In total, we have 8 invited talks, and each talk will be 25 minutes, plus 5 minutes for question and answers. And then we'll have a final discussion round at 17. We also have contributed extended abstracts. In particular, we have 17 accepted works, and each work will be presented with a 5-minute presentation that is pre-recorded, and then we'll have a 1-minute live question and answer. And then we also have 10 posters that are only in person during the poster sessions. So we'll start at 8:45, that is in 5 minutes, with our first invited talk by Kimitoshi Yamazaki. Then we'll have at 9:15 Youssef Mezouar as a second invited talk. And then we'll have our first spotlight talk session, that's at 9:45, which will be followed by the poster session at 10:25. And here we'll also have the coffee break. So please grab your coffee and then come by to talk with the authors that will be presenting the posters. That we will resume at 11, and we'll have another invited talk by Ken Goldberg. And at 11:30, we'll have the last invited talk of the morning, that is by Andrea Cherubini. And we'll close the morning with the last spotlight talk session at 12. And next, we'll have the lunch. And we'll reconvene at 13:45, when we'll have the first invited talk of the afternoon, that is by Shuran Song. And at 14:15, we'll have the second invited talk by Rika Antonova. And then at 14:45, we'll have the last spotlight talk session, which will be followed by the poster session at 15:15. Here again, we'll have also the coffee break. And we'll have then at 16 the last two invited talks by Alan Kuntz and Isabella Wang, and by Caroline Mattel. And then we'll close the day, as I said, at 17 with an open discussion round. So now just a few words about how to interact. So the idea of the workshop is to be as interactive as possible. So please ask whatever you want and whenever you want. So you can use the Zoom question and answers, especially if you're joining online. You can also use the Slido event, that is this number 6390877. And all the but gold, you can just raise your hand and ask whatever. So either virtually or in person, it always works. And if you want to read, if you miss a talk, or if you just want to read an accepted extended abstract, you will find all the talks and all the contributions on our website. So this is the time for any question about organizational aspects. So I don't know if there are any questions. Okay.